We are also taking a deep dive into the Beluran seat this evening. Kiandee is a 5-term Beluran MP. He won the seat all the time under Barisan Nasional. So will voters throw their support for him this time around under the Perikatan Nasional banner? Farhana Sheikh has more.
Thank you, Cynthia. So, Beluran is another hot seat to look out for. So, let's have a look at its demographics, electoral history, and also election candidates this time around. Now, we have here a rough map of Beluran. It's actually divided into 3 state seats, which is Telupit, Sugut, and also Labok. Sabah has already held its state election back in 2020, so it won't be holding another one this time around. But it's interesting to note that for all these state seats back in 2020, they were won by different coalitions or parties. So PN for Labok, BN for Sugut, and PBS for Telupit. So it can be hard to tell which coalition or party actually has the upper hand when it comes to parliamentary seat. But we can get a clearer view of it when we look at the racial composition here. So Beluran is definitely a Bumiputra majority seat with more than 95% of Bumiputra voters, less than 1% of Chinese voters, and about 3.7% of others. So we can get sort of a clue of which party they would be more aligned to, or what could be some of the voters' aspiration based on this. Now, let's look at the electoral history next. Ronald Kiandee under Barisan Nasional last time won the seat in GE14 with a clear majority, 62.84% of overall voters. It's interesting to note here that ever since the constituency was created in 1995, Beluran voters have never voted against BN. So next in line, we have Warisan at Japar Zairun from Warisan at 28.47, trailing a bit far behind is Sipin Kedandi from Harapan Rakyat, and the rest of the 3 candidates from Parti Cinta Sabah, PPRS, and also an independent candidate at less than or a bit more than 1%. So those are the electoral history for Beluran in G14. Now, let's look at the G15 contestant this time around. Ronald Kiandee, first having won the seat not just last term, but he is also a 5-term incumbent for Beluran. He won the seat last time under UMNO and Barisan Nasional ticket, but he left the coalition in 2018 and subsequently joined Bersatu. So in Sabah, Gabungan Rakyat Sabah GRS, led by Sabah Bersatu and Chief Minister Datuk Seri Haji J. Noor, are in a coalition government with Sabah Barisan Nasional. So under their electoral agreement for G15, GRS has decided to let BN actually to contest under for this seat. However, on nomination day, Ronald had decided to defend the seat under PN, under Perikatan Nasional. So he is up against BN's own Benedict Asmat, who is also in the UMNO Beluran Division Committee, and also Felix Joseph Sang from Pakatan Harapan, Rowena Rasid from Warisan, and also Housing Samsudin from Pejuang. So the main question here would be, how will Ronald's defiance impact the relationship between the coalition parties in the state government right now? That we will soon find out. Back to you, Cynthia.